Welcome to another episode of DC to Savings. In today's episode, I'll be answering the question, how much does a 5 kVA solar system actually generate in Lagos? In case you missed it, last week I shared 7 points that your solar installer is unlikely to tell you before taking your money. I have attached the link to the episode in the comments. Also, for you not to miss out on any updates, I welcome you to subscribe to this channel and be part of our growing community of solar energy champions, helping people with the right information while making a switch to solar energy. Now, back to today's episode. A 5 kVA solar PV system in Lagos would generate between 11 kilowatts and 20 kilowatt hour per day, depending on the month. That range is the difference between a system that powers your home and one that leaves you on the grid or generator every July. By the end of this video, you will be able to look at any 5 kVA codes and know within a reasonable range what it will actually deliver before you spend a single naira. I have spent 14 years on the tools and in the field, carrying out the design, procurement, installation, commissioning, and after-sales support on residential and commercial solar hybrid projects. I created DC to Savings because I got tired of watching people get sold systems that are sized without considering location dependencies and other underlying factors that affect solar PV performance in real life. Everything I share with you on this episode is verifiable. I would attach the number source and also demonstrate the design approach rather than providing only the conclusions. Before we get into the numbers, I want to ask you some questions, and I would genuinely like you to answer in the comments. 1. How much do you currently spend on electricity? I mean your grid supply tariff and your generator fuel cost if you run on gen as well. 2. What are you actually trying to solve? Cutting your diesel bill, reducing power outage hours, or lowering your carbon footprint for a business sustainability target? I asked because I want solar isn't a design brief. I want to cut my 120,000 naira monthly generator fuel bill by 70% is the right brief. Can you put these figures in the comments to enable me factor it into future episodes? If you have requested quotes from different installers, I know what you're thinking about right now. Installers keep giving me different number of solar panels for the same 5 kVA inverter, so who is right? Well, what happens in the raining season when it's cloudy for days? Or is 5 kVA even enough, or am I about to underspend and regret it? All your concerns are legitimate. Now let's deal with them by going through the actual physics and maths, not just opinion. First of all, I'd like to bust the myth. 5 kVA is not equal to 5 kilowatts of solar panels. This is the beginning of many confusions around this topic. The term 5 kVA 5 kilovolt amps describes your inverter's output capacity. That is, how much power your inverter can deliver to your home in kilovolt amps. It does not directly point out to how many solar panels you have. Depending on power factor, a 5 kVA inverter typically delivers somewhere between 4,000 watts and 5,000 watts of continuous usable power, and that's the output side. The solar array, which is the number of solar panels on your roof, is sized separately based on these factors. 1. How much energy do you need during the day? 2. How much battery do you need to recharge before sun sets? 3. Your inverter's maximum PV input rating, the total number of solar energy your inverter can handle from the panels. Now, in Nigeria residential solar market, a 5 kVA hybrid system is commonly paired with somewhere between 3.2 and 7.7 kilowatt peak of panels. That's roughly 8 to 14 panels of 400 to 550 watts each, depending on your battery bank size and daytime load. There is no single fixed answer. Anyone who gives you one number without asking about your battery and your loads is simply guessing. Today's calculation, I would use 5 kilowatt peak array, a common mid-range pairing for a 5 kVA. So you can see the method and rerun it with your own installer's actual panel count. Now let's talk about the formula solar engineer uses. Considering the three main inputs, One, solar array size. We are going to be using 5 kilowatt peak for this example. Two, the peak sun hours PSH for Lagos. This is not the same as daylight hours. It is the equivalent number of hours at maximum solar intensity. Lagos is a coastal region, and it's important to note this because you get more cloud cover and rain in this part of Nigeria than in the north. In Lagos, the annual average equals to 3.8 to 4.2 peak hours per day. For the rainy season low, that is in July, you have 2.8 to 3.2 hours per day. Dry season high, that is December to February, you have 5.0 to 5.5 hours per day. The third input is the performance ratio, PR. This accounts for real-world losses such as heat. In my previous video, I explained that high temperatures from above 25 degrees reduces solar panel efficiency, and this high temperature occurs for the most part of the year in Lagos. Some of the other contributing losses are dust and harmattan haze, wiring resistance, and inverter conversion loss. The industry standard for a well-installed system is 75% to 80% performance ratio, so I'll use 75% to stay conservative. Now let's do the math for a 5 kilowatt peak solar array in Lagos. Starting with rainy season calculation, which is the worst case scenario. A 5 kilowatt peak multiplied by 3 peak sun hours multiplied by 0.75 performance ratio equals to 11.25 kilowatt hour per day. Annual average calculation, 5 kilowatt peak times 4 PSH times 0.75 equals to 15 kilowatt hour per day. And lastly, for the dry season best case scenario, 5 kilowatt peak times 5.25 PSH times 0.75 equals to 19.7 kilowatt hour per day. That's your real range, not one number, a range. Because solar weather genuinely swings much between July and January, any installer who quotes using a single flat X kilowatt hour per day figure without considering seasonal variation is oversimplifying. Before committing to any installer, find out what seasonal variation or adjustment they considered in their quote. What does 11 to 20 kilowatt hour a day actually cover? Using a modest 3-bedroom house as a reference point, a Lagos home running a small fridge, 3 fans, about 10 light bulbs, 1 TV, and phone chargers typically uses somewhere in the range of 8 kilowatt to 15 kilowatt hour per day. That means a 5 kilowatt peak solar array panel paired with a 5 kV inverter can realistically carry the household through most of the year on solar generation alone, with your battery bank absorbing the surplus energy during the day and discharging it at night. Where it gets tight is the deep rainy season and back-to-back rainfall as experienced daily in Lagos these past few weeks. This is not a design flaw, it's simply physics. It's why sizing your battery bank and understanding your worst month number, not your best month number, is the difference between a system that quietly works and one that leaves you frustrated every July. This is also exactly why I said earlier, ask your installer what array size they are actually proposing, and ask them to show you the rainy season number, not just the headline figure. So here is what to do with this information practically. 1. Get your actual monthly unit consumption in kilowatt hour from your electricity bill or your generator fuel log. 2. Ask any installer quoting a 5 kVA system what is the array size in kilowatt peak and what is the expected rainy season daily output, not just the annual average. 3. Run the formula yourself. That is the array size multiplied by 3.0 PSH multiplied by 0.7 performance ratio for the conservative Lagos number. If their quote cannot survive that math, ask why. That brings us to the end of this episode. You do not need to become an engineer. You need just 3 numbers and 1 formula alone, and you'll be able to hold any proposal to account. Drop your current monthly spend and your goal in the comments. I read them and they shape what I cover next on DC to Savings. If you want the same breakdown for a different inverter size or for a UK installation where the irradiance numbers are completely different, tell me which one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.